I only give back to female homeless people because if you're a man and you're homeless and you're on the street, then I just wonder what you did wrong. There's women out there who need my help, so I'm gonna help them. You better get a job. Why are you on the street?
You're one in a million, you know? You're actually sitting down and talking to me, you know? Most people don't give it to you. But it's all right, you know, when it comes down to it, I came in this world by myself, and when I die, I'm going to be the only one in that coffin. And so really all I guess that matters is me, I guess, you know? I think people matter, but the more I'm starting to see.
Now, men's mental health is something that gets kind of looked down upon, doesn't really get discussed as much, and when it does get discussed, it's kind of looked down as like ew, who wants to talk about that? That's what weak men do. That's what men who weren't raised by strong men. But me, myself, and I, my dad passed away when I was young. I was raised mostly by my mother, and I've experienced a lot of loss in my life. I've been raised amongst mostly, drug addicts and people that have been struggling in their own regards. I've been dealt with a lot of mental health, my own issues. And this is something that have you ever gone down, when you're driving down the highway, you see people who have those signs, whether they're begging for food, whether they're willing to work for the money, either or. If you see a male around my age, you're probably gonna be like, why is this guy not applying for jobs? How did this guy end up in this position? First, if you see a mother who could potentially be pregnant or something, you're going to be more willing to help out. So definitely is a change in scenario in terms of a male-female demographic among society. But it also is the fact that you never really know what people go through. And in this video, we're going to discuss men are the sole proprietors of society who actually run, build, and kind of make society not so dystopian. We build most of the buildings, we fight most of the wars to keep the freedom among society. For the majority of the people who are in charge that make the most of the rules, we've written most of the documents that are the rules that we follow and the laws that we are written upon throughout life. And although whenever we actually have any of our own issues, we're never really allowed to talk about it. Even amongst male circles, good luck actually talking to your close buddies or your father or your uncles or your cousins about opening up about your emotions. It's looked down upon. Well, girls, they're constantly getting uplifted. They're constantly getting, if you look at any girl's social media page, they'll get told the most beautiful, baddest bitch ever to be been born, even if they just put on a one layer of makeup and maybe like a tube top. It's ridiculous. But these days, if men actually post these workout videos, there's this whole looks maxing type of ordeal that's going on right now with men trying to get in the gym, trying to stupid stuff like bone crushing. It's a whole wave that's kind of in a psychotic demographic here, but it definitely is true, which I do feel like men trying to take care of themselves, no one still cares. Who are you really trying to impress? Yourself, which is actually what women say they're trying to do, but we're all trying to impress each other. We all want to make ourselves look the best among society. We all want our bloodlines and our family's last names to be somewhere and be somebody, but for the majority of us, we just kind of get looked past.
If you die fighting for America in 2026, it is no longer seen as honorable. It is now pointless. These are the first 6 people to die in the US-Iran war. CBS News says the name and age of everybody who died. But for the last guy, they forget to remove the stock indicator. You can't even see his name, his age. This man had a name. His name was Jeffrey O'Brien. He had a beautiful family. He died fighting a pointless battle and they couldn't even say his name. This young man right here, his name is Declan Cody. He was only 20 years old and he died. He wasn't even old enough to go buy himself a drink. Dying fighting for America used to mean something. Before the Vietnam War, if you died fighting for America, it was the most honorable thing you could do. This meant you died fighting for every American's freedom. During World War II, when America was fighting the Japanese, a US ship was hit. This led to 700 people being missing. 5 of those missing were brothers from the same family. The youngest was only 20 and the oldest was just 27. This became front paper news. Many newspapers were talking about these 5 missing brothers. They were seen as American heroes. When the news spoke about these missing US soldiers, they cared. To many Americans, these 5 brothers made the ultimate sacrifice. But now in 2026, dying for America is not the honor it used to be. Not even 2 weeks after the first Americans die in this US-Iran war, 6 more US soldiers die. This family was at home when they got a knock at the door. When they opened the door, it was people wearing uniform. They knew right away their son had died. Since the passing of Tyler Simmons, his cousin has come out and said this war is uncalled for. He said we didn't need to be in this war. But I just want to say rest in peace to all the soldiers who have died in this war. I would rather serve crack before I serve this country, But none of these US soldiers deserve to die.
Now, this is a discussion that is kind of sensitive, and I know that I shit on our country, our nation, the US of A, and most countries, all countries. I pretty much shit on anything on this channel over the course of the past, and I will continue on doing so. But I do more so genuinely, authentically respect the troops and the people who give their lives, and they straight up they volunteer for these positions a lot of the time. In the U.S., we're able to volunteer for service unless there's some sort of draft, which is constantly being threatened over us with this whole World War III situation and Iran and Israel and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, we get to choose who goes. So I more than appreciate everybody who goes. And the fact you actually lose your life over these things, and then we kind of get these carrot on the stick, kind of like dangling over us of free college. You get benefits, you get paid a couple grand throughout the rest of your life. But if you actually ask many vets, it seems like the VA does not really take care of the veterans like they're supposed to. And I myself, I was just realizing, well, my personal mom passed away. My sister's going through struggles. I don't have very many people in my life. If I were to pass away, the only people that were left would only care about burying my body. Imagine if you gave your life for the country. You hold a lot more weight in terms of how you're going to go. And I'm glad that at least, I'm pretty sure that the government does pay for the funerals and stuff and the whole ordeal there if a soldier does die during service. But in terms of that, imagine having other soldiers show up to your door getting told that your loved one has passed away. This is a very troublesome situation. So, and especially being on the news, not getting really as much respect as some of the other people who were there with you. It's definitely a weird situation. So what do you personally feel about the current day military situation, with the current day services? Do you think like it's more of a scam? Do you feel like most people do it for the paycheck? Because I've actually covered that in the past, how there's been many videos where they go around and they asked all the new recruitments, all the new cadets, why they're there. It's mostly for a paycheck, and it's kind of a soulless endeavor, but that's what the life's come to. Now, despite which gender you personally claim you are, these days in 2026, it could be anything. You could be male, female, or hell, even both. I'm not going to judge you, but I would more than appreciate hearing your personal thoughts, opinions down below if you feel like mental health as a whole is something that's kind of getting overlooked, if it's been kind of stamped so much with this whole BetterHelp and kind of been drifted into this kind of scam therapy, psychology sort of organization where there's never really a solution to fix your health, but other than rather maybe giving you some sort of drugs, putting you on some sort of psychotics or depression medication, which I've tried when I was, after my dad passed away, I was on some depressive medication for a few months. I ended up taking myself off of it, and now I'm just riding life solo. I'm kind of raw dogging life. But what do you personally feel like is the solution for mental health, for helping people in these type of situations, and have you experienced it yourself? I'd love to hear your personal thoughts, opinions down below, and I always love to respond to those ones I see fit. And I want to give a huge shout out to the handful of you guys check these videos daily, and check out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support these discussion-based videos that we try to provide here daily amongst the channel. It's kind of like I got for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya. God bless.